Now, the next topic here will be estimation. Now, say if you went to a grocery shop and your mom just take a sample of say any pulses, and then she find out that this one is better as compared to this, or there are two different type of rice kept there. So how do you judge which is better, this one or this one? You take a sample of it and you find that this is better, and then you take a whole lot of it. Okay. Similarly, if you want to go for shopping, okay, and you want to purchase a trouser and a shirt for you, so how much money do you carry with you? Do you take an exact amount? Like if the trouser cost rupees 2000 and a shirt cost rupees 1000, do you carry only exact 3000 rupees with you? No. What do? You usually take an estimated amount of money. Like you may take with you 3000 rupees, you may take with you 4000 rupees, you may take with you 500 rupees also. And it depends on what thing you are going to purchase. But you are not having the exact amount. Suppose you are getting a bill of 1192 rupees. So, will you pay exactly 1192 because you are carrying that? No, you might be having more than that, and out of that, suppose you are carrying 1500. Okay, so out of 1500 you are giving only 1192. Rest will be with you. But you had it in your mind, the back of your mind, that you will be spending approximately an amount which is within this range. That means less than 1500 rupees. So this is actually estimation, which we are using in our day-to-day life. Now, how do we use estimation? When we apply it to certain questions, like when we are adding or subtracting or dividing or multiplying. So actually estimation gives an idea of various quantities, and when the quantities are maybe too large or maybe too difficult to get the accurate measure of it, we use the approximate value, and that approximate value is called as the estimated value here. So estimating, you are using it in estimating the percentage of marks, that I'll get approximately 75%, I'll get approximately 95%. You are not sure, but you are giving an approximate measure of it. Or actually you may use estimation to different places also, like estimation to nearest hundreds by rounding off, estimating to nearest tens by rounding off, or to thousands. Now let us discuss this estimation to certain places by some examples. Now when a sum or a difference is being estimated, let's see an example here. So when we estimate the sum or the difference of the number, what do we actually do? We round off the numbers first, and then we find their sum, estimated sum or estimated difference. For example, if the question is you need to estimate 5143 plus 16894. So what we do? Let us round off first both the numbers to certain place. Now when we round off to nearest 1000, because here what do we notice? That this has the highest place as 1000 and this number has the highest place as 10,000. So what we decided, that we are rounding it off to thousands place because it is the smaller one. So when we round off 5143 to the number and 16,000, so this will be rounded off to 1,70,000, and 5143 is rounded off to 5,000. And then what we do? We just add the estimated sum, estimated numbers, and we get the sum as 22,000. So here we can say that approximately the sum will be around or as nearby to the number 22,000. This is all about estimation. But now the question arises that how we have estimated this is rounded off to 1,70,000 and how this number is rounded off to 5,000 and not 6,000. These questions might be popping up in your mind, right? So let us discuss it in also more detail. There are some rules for this. So if you look at the number to the right of the rounding number, that means if you want to round off to nearest tens or hundreds or thousand, then we have to first look at that digit and just see to the digit which is just after it, immediately after that. So if the digit to the next to it is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, then what we do? We do not change the rounding number, we keep it as it is. And all the numbers on the right side of the rounding number becomes 0. Now let us take an example here. Round 64 to the nearest 10. How we can round it off? So for that we have to round off to the tens place. So first see which is the tens place here. The tens digit here is 6. Now what is the number to the next of 6? That means to the right of 6. So here we see the number written next to 6 is 4. So 4 is less than 5. That means if the number is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, we keep it as it is. We do not increase the number. So since the number is 4, leave 6 as it is and change 4 to 0. The number which is written after the tens place, after the tens place means the units place, it becomes 0. And so the final number becomes 60. Okay. Similarly, if we have to round off to the hundreds place, then how we can do? If the number to the right, even it applies to rounding off to tens also. Suppose as in this previous example we have seen 4. If it would have been 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, then what we will do? So in that case, if the next digit is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, we rounding the number rounds up by 1. That means we increase the digit. That means in the previous example 6. So that number is increased by 1. So it is increased by 1 up, and then we round off the digit and all the numbers, all the digits which are written next to it, that means after it becomes 0. For example, if we have to round off 270 to nearest hundreds. So now here just have a look. We have to round off to 100. That means we have to see which digit? We have to see the digit which is next to the hundreds place. So next to the hundreds place is tens place and the digit here is 7. So we have to see the digit 7 here in this case. Now 7 is greater than 5? Yes, of course. So if the next digit is greater than 5, then we have to increase the digit by 1. So here 2 will be increased by 1 and it becomes 3 and all the digits after 2 become 0. That means we increase this 2 by 1, it becomes 3 and both 7 and 0 becomes 0. So we can say 270 will be rounded off to the next number 300 here. So now let us understand this rounding off in more detail with an activity also. Now here you can see a hill and a person standing might be in the center. Now if the number has to be rounded off to nearest tens place, okay, so any number if it lies, we are taking an example here, the number between 60 to 70. Suppose if the number is 61. So what happens when you started up this hill, okay, and you suppose reached 65, fine, so you have to come down. Which place will be suitable for you? If you want to come to 60 or you want to go to 70, it depends, right? So if you have started from 60 and just reached 61, but you got tired here, so where will you love to move? You will go to 60 or you will cross the whole hill and go to 70? Now since you are tired already, you will start again going to 60 side, right? That means if the number is 61, it will be rounded off to 60. Second time, suppose if you started again and you reached to 62, then again got tired. So where will you come down? Will you come down to 60 or go to 70? Obviously you will come down to the number 60. And same you will follow. If you go to 63, you will come back to 60. If you go to 64, you come back to 60. But now, suppose that while climbing the hill, you reach at the center position. Fine, on the top of the hill. And you got tired then. So where will you love to move? Will you come back to the original position or will you go back to the number 70? Of course, your option will be to go to the number 70 so that you can complete the task. That means if any number, if you are in the center between 60 to 70, the exact center is 65. So if the number is 65, it will be rounded off to the next number, that is 70. Now notice one thing, when we started in this, what do we notice? The number 61, the digit which is just written next to 6 is 1. And 1 is smaller than 5. So we are making 1 as 0 and 6 remains 6. When you are moving to 62, 2 is less than 5, so 2 is made 0 and we round it off to 62. Similarly, 63, 3 and 4 both are less than 5, so they are shifted back and will be rounded off to 60. But when the next digit is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, we round it off to the higher place. And so 65 will be rounded to 70, 66 will be rounded off to 70 and so on till 69. So whenever there is a 2-digit number, just see if the digit next to the tens place, that means if the digit at the units place is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, it will be increased to the next higher place. That means how do we write it also? You need to know this also. So here we use a symbol. Now if 61 is rounded off, we round it off to 60 in this manner. If 62 is to be rounded off, it will also be rounded off to 60. Similarly, 63 rounded off to 60, 64 rounded off to 60. Now when we start from 65, you notice that 65 is rounded off to 70 and so on with 66, 67, 68, 69. They all will be rounded off to the number 70 and we move to the higher side in this. And this is a way to write the question if it comes. I hope now it is very clear to you how you can round off various numbers. Let us now see if the rounding is to nearest hundreds. Now suppose if I give you any number between 300 to 400. Suppose you get a number 340. So imagine between 300 and 400, what is the exact number? The exact will be 350. Now if I am asking you to estimate 340, so 340 is less than 350, so it will be rounded off to the lesser side, that is 300. If I give you a number 323, so 323 will lie between 320 to 330, that means towards the lesser side of the hill. So 323 will also be rounded off to 300. In the same way, if I give you a number 370, obviously you will move to the higher side and will be rounded off to the number 400. So 310 rounded off to 300, 320 rounded off to 300, same as with 330 and 340 also will be rounded off to the number 300. But 350, 360, 70, 80 and 90, they all will be rounded off to the next higher number, that is 400. So I hope it is now clear to you how to round off the number. Similarly, in the extension, it may be asked that find the sum or find the difference of the numbers. So first round off the numbers and then find the sum or the difference, whatever is asked in the question. Now the question here is round 37 to nearest 10. Now nearest 10 means we will see the tens digit, see the next digit after tens place, that is 7. Now if the digit is 5 or greater than 5, yes or no? Yes. 37, 7 is greater than 5. So we increase 3 by 1 and 7 will become 0. So it becomes, the correct option out of them is the number 40. Now one more question here. Suppose if I take a number 23 and now you have to round it off to tens. See the tens place, the digit written next to the tens place is 3, which is less than 5. So we don't change the number, it is kept as it is. 23 is more close to now 20. So in this way we can do estimation of numbers or rounding off of the numbers.